My name is Tonya Reed, and I found Dr. Handoo by looking at YouTube, actually. I was going through a really deep depression. I've had issues with depression since my 20s, and so it had just gotten severe. I had failed 27 different medications, so I was looking for anything. I was desperate to find anything. I didn't know anything about ketamine, so I found out a little bit about it. My depression is mostly linked to chronic PTSD from just various types of abuse growing up. Also PTSD from being a nurse and working in ICU, dealing with a lot of patient deaths. So having your own personal struggle with very difficult issues, and then having a job that's very demanding and difficult and can be extremely rewarding, and then also just leave you in a heap when you get home, and no one else can get that. So again, 27 different types of medications over a period of 13 years. Some of them one of them in particular caused me to gain 105 pounds within 9 months. And they were trying to take me off of it several times, but the depression would just go crazy. So it was like a catch-22, like I needed this to save my life. And it was also killing me. Unfortunately, a lot of these medications come with some serious complications, weight gain being one of those with these anti-typical drugs. And so that tends to be the biggest one. And so that also decreased my quality of life, which then also increased the depression and anxiety. It was more numbing me out than actually fixing the depression. As far as therapy, cognitive behavioral, EMDR, that was helpful for a while, but I think at some point many things kind of was not as helpful as it was in the beginning, and there were still a lot of unresolved traumas, a lot of thought loops that I would get stuck in. I've seen at least 10 different therapists, and I don't like doctor hopping. I mean, once I found Dr. Handoo, I've stayed with him, but I also needed something that worked for me. I was in such a dark place that if I was a marathon runner, I would have ran from my house to his clinic the same night. No, I didn't have any hesitations because I really didn't feel like I had anything to lose. I was like, anything has to be better than this. I think maybe the only hesitation that I had nothing to do with the ketamine itself. It's just getting your hopes up that maybe this won't work. I think that might have been my only hesitation, but I'd seen so many other testimonials and I had done more research on it, and I kind of just knew and really thought, like, I think this is gonna work this time. Just within a week and over the week's time, there were real changes in my thinking. I didn't feel high, or I didn't feel lethargic like I did with other medications, wasn't gaining weight. I was thoroughly taken care of. I felt like everyone took such good care of me while I was in the treatment session, so everyone made me feel relaxed and comfortable. And Dr. Handoo kind of walked me through with what would happen and some changes that we could see. And I did the preparatory work as much as I could on my end. Once I started ketamine, I felt the difference day one, and each has gotten better. The impact that ketamine has had on my life when I came in to see him, I think I was maybe like 24, 25 on the depression scale, and within 6 weeks, we were down to 2. That never happened in my whole life with any therapy, with any medication. I mean, it really saved my life, and it made my life open up in a way that I didn't even think was possible. I'm not sad, this is happy. When you spend so many years trapped inside of your mind and you can't get out of it, and you have tried everything and you have poured all of your hope and finances into trying to get well, and then you finally get well after 15 years, and your colors were brighter, and even what the birds sounded like, I was like, I never even could hear it in that same way. I couldn't have an appreciation for nature because literally I was just surviving. And to not have to just survive anymore, but actually live, I can live. Wow. I felt very safe the whole time. That was the thing. Like, I like being in that big chair. I feel like a little kid because I'm short. My feet don't even get close to touching the ground, and it feels like a hug because of the way that it sort of wraps around you. I love the dim lighting. Like, there was just nothing about it that was scary. They get me on the first stick every time, which is hard to do for me. So that's a big plus. I don't have to dread being stuck 47 times. There's a sort of music that they want you to listen to, and that really calms everything down. Dr. Handoo is amazing. He is also super kind. He's a very busy man, but on an occasion you can, when he's just not running from room to room, and he always spends time with his patients, but this is a busy practice, but he takes time to make me feel comfortable, to kind of review where we are, to make sure I feel like I'm in a good place and that we're continuing to do things in a way that's helpful for me. He's a good doctor. He's a very caring doctor, and I'm glad I found him. If I could say anything to anyone struggling with depression, with horrible anxiety, with PTSD, CPTSD, and nothing else is working for you, and you feel like there are no other options, there are other options. And this is one of them. And for me, it ended up being the thing for me. And what I would say to that person is, you are worth it 100%. Forget the money, forget the time that you have to take off work. You will get your life back. Or maybe your life has been terrible since childhood and you've never even had any beautiful moments. You can have those. You can do it. And it's gonna be okay. And you will have so many people around you rooting for you, pulling for you, taking care of you. They're not going to let you down. It's not even just about the ketamine. The ketamine has changed my life, but so have the staff, and so has Dr. Handoo.